The detailed account of the previous aspirations of the blessed Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha. Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Thus did I hear at one time. The Blessed One was wandering through the provinces and came to Vaishali. There in Vaishali, at the base of the musical tree, he was accompanied by a great sangha of 8,000 monks, and with him, too, were 36,000 bodhisattvas, and all manner of kings, ministers, brahmins, householders, gods, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, and mahoragas, all of whom encircled and venerated him as he taught the Dharma. Then, through the Buddha's power, the Bodhisattva great being and Dharma prince Manjushri rose from his seat, adjusted his upper robe on one shoulder, knelt with his right knee on the ground, bowed to the Blessed One with his palms together, and made this request to the Blessed One. May the Blessed One please teach a detailed account of the names and previous aspirations of the thus-gone ones, so that beings who hear them may be purified of their karmic obscurations and be guided later in future times when only an imitation of the holy Dharma remains. Very well, Manjushri, very well, the Blessed One replied to Manjushri Kumarabhuta. It is good, Manjushri, that the boundless compassion you have generated has led you to make this request for the benefit, aid, and happiness of all those divine and human beings who are enveloped by all kinds of karmic obscurations. Listen well, and keep in mind what I say, Manjushri, and I shall explain. Manjushri, to the east of this Buddha field, past as many Buddha fields as there are grains of sand in 10 Ganga rivers, lives the blessed Buddha Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha. In the world, Vaidurya near Bhasa. He is a thus-gone, worthy and perfect Buddha, someone endowed with knowledge and good conduct, a well-gone one, a knower of the world, a charioteer who tames people, unsurpassed, and a teacher of gods and humans. Manjushri, long ago when he was practicing bodhisattva conduct, the blessed thus-gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha proclaimed the following 12 great aspirations. For his first great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may my body's radiance illuminate innumerable, limitless, and immeasurable worlds, warm them, and make them shine. May all beings be adorned with the 32 marks of a great person, and the 80 minor marks, just as I am." For his second great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may my body be like a precious blue beryl gem, pure inside and out, and radiating a stainless light. May I manifest a broad and tall body that stands firm, is ablaze with glory and splendor, and is adorned with a halo of light so bright that it outshines the sun and moon. May my light allow any beings who are born in the dark spaces between worlds, and those here in the human world who travel to various places during the dark of night, to proceed joyfully, and may they perform virtuous deeds." For his third great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may my boundless wisdom and skillful means furnish immeasurable realms of beings with inexhaustible wealth, and may no one lack anything. For his fourth great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may any beings who have set out on the wrong path be set upon the path to awakening. May all those who have entered the path of the hearers and who have entered the path of the solitary Buddhas be led to the great vehicle." For his fifth great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may any beings who are close to me practice pure conduct. Likewise, may a limitless and boundless number of other beings hear my name, and may my power cause them to be bound by the 3 vows and have uncorrupted discipline. May no one engage in incorrect discipline and proceed to the lower realms." For his sixth great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may beings who have weak constitutions, impaired faculties, or poor complexions, who are dumb, lame, hunchbacked, or have vitiligo, who have only one eye, or are blind, deaf, or mentally ill, and whose bodies are otherwise affected by illness, hear my name. When they do, may all their faculties become whole, and their bodies intact." For his seventh great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may beings whose bodies are afflicted by various types of illnesses, who are vulnerable, who are defenseless, who lack necessities and medicines, who have no one to care for them, who are poor and who suffer, hear my name, and may all their illnesses be quelled. May they be healthy and live free from harm for as long as it takes them to attain awakening." For his eighth great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may any women who are afflicted by the hundreds of disadvantages of being a woman, who dislike being of the female gender, and who want to be free from the condition of being a woman, leave behind their female gender and be born as a man for as long as it takes them to attain awakening." For his ninth great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may I release all beings from Mara's bonds. May I establish in the correct view those who are in opposition due to their divergent, contrasting, and disturbed views. In due order, may I teach them the conduct of a bodhisattva." For his 10th great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may the power of my merit free from all manner of harm any beings who are terrified because they fear their king, and who are bound, beaten, tortured, sentenced to death, persecuted by many acts of treachery, dishonored, and pained by bodily, verbal, or mental suffering." For his 11th great aspiration, he proclaimed, "In the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may I provide food that is vibrant, aromatic, and savory, in order to satiate the bodies of any beings who are scorched by the fire of hunger and thirst, who expend great effort searching for food, and who commit sinful actions. Then may I make them even happier with the taste of the Dharma. The Thus-Gone One's 12th great aspiration was, in the future, when I have attained awakening as a perfect Buddha who has manifested unsurpassed and perfect awakening, may I provide with clothes that suit their needs and are dyed in bright colors those sentient beings who are naked, who have no clothes, who are poor, who are suffering, and who are miserable day and night due to cold, heat, flies, and biting insects. May I fulfill all the wishes of beings with whatever types of jewelry, ornaments, garlands, perfumes, ointments, music, instruments, and drums they desire. Manjushri, those are the 12 great aspirations that the blessed Thus-Gone, worthy and perfect Buddha, Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha, proclaimed long ago when he was practicing bodhisattva conduct. Manjushri, the aspirations of the Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja, and the array of good qualities of his Buddha field cannot be exhausted over the course of an eon or even longer than an eon. His Buddha field is utterly pure. There are no stones, pebbles, or gravel. There are no faults related to desire. There are no cries of suffering and the lower realms, and there is no such thing as the female gender. The foundation, walls, fences, archways, latticework windows, and turrets are made of blue beryl, and the parapets are made of the 7 precious substances. The array of good qualities of the world Vaidurya Nirbhasa is equal to that of the world Sukhavati. There are 2 bodhisattva great beings who are foremost among the immeasurable and innumerable bodhisattvas in that world. The first is named Surya Vairochana, and the second is named Chandra Vairochana. These 2 maintain the treasury of the holy Dharma of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha. Manjushri, that is why a faithful son or daughter of good family should make the aspiration to be born in that Buddha field. The Blessed One continued to address Manjushri Kumarabhuta, saying, Manjushri, there are ordinary beings who do not know about virtue and non-virtue. They are overcome by greed and do not understand generosity and the ripened result of generosity. They are childish and foolish, lacking the capacity for faith. As they strive to accumulate and maintain wealth, their minds are not disposed. Their minds are not disposed toward generosity and sharing. When it is time to give a gift, they become dejected, as if they were cutting the flesh from their own bodies. Many of those beings do not even allow themselves to enjoy material wealth, let alone provide for their parents, wives, sons, and daughters, for their male and female servants and employees, and for beggars. When such beings pass away, they are reborn in the hungry ghost realm, or as animals. For those among them who have heard the name of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha in their previous lives as humans, whether they find themselves in the world of Yama or in the animal realm, that Thus-Gone One's name will appear there before them. Simply by recollecting it, after they eventually pass away, they will once again be born in the human realm. They will remember their former lifetimes, grow anxious out of fear of the lower realms, and no longer concern themselves with sense pleasures. They will delight in generosity, promote generosity, and give away everything they own. Eventually, they will even give their own head, hands, feet, eyes, flesh, and blood to anyone who asks, let alone other things like accumulated wealth. Moreover, Manjushri, there are beings who undermine the precepts of the thus-gone ones, violating discipline and engaging in wrong views. There are those who are disciplined and may maintain their discipline, but do not seek erudition, and so do not understand the profound meaning of the discourses that the thus-gone one has taught. There are those who do become erudite, but develop excessive pride, and because they are overcome by their pride, they act with jealousy toward others and misuse and forsake the holy Dharma. Such foolish people who side with Mara pursue a bad path themselves and cause many billions of other beings to fall into the great abyss. Those beings are reborn amidst the horrors of hell. For those who have heard the name of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha in a previous life as a human being, even those who live in the hell realms, the power of the Buddha will cause the name of that thus-gone one to appear before them. Then, when they pass away, they will be reborn in the human realm. They will maintain the correct view. They will be diligent, and their minds will be predisposed towards virtue. They will leave home, go forth in the teaching of the thus-gone one, and finally practice bodhisattva conduct. Moreover, Manjushri, there are beings who praise themselves and denigrate others out of jealousy. Beings who sing their own praises and denigrate others will suffer in the 3 lower realms for many thousands of years. After many thousands of years have passed, they will pass away and be reborn in the animal realm as cows, horses, camels, donkeys, and so forth. They will be beaten with whips and rods, their bodies will be afflicted by hunger and thirst, and they will have to carry great loads as they move along the road. Even if they do attain human birth, they will always be born into families of low standing, be servants, and be under other people's control. Those who have heard the name of the blessed, thus-gone, worthy, and perfect Buddha, Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha in a previous life as a human being, will be liberated from all manner of suffering due to that root of virtue. They will be intelligent, learned, bright, prudent, and focused on pursuing virtue, and they will always find company with a spiritual teacher. They will cut Mara's bonds, crush the eggshell of ignorance, and dry up the river of the afflictions. They will be liberated from birth, old age, death, anguish, lamentation, suffering, unhappiness, and conflict. Manjushri, there are also those beings who delight in slander, and beings who instigate fights, arguments, and disputes with one another. Such contentious beings commit various types of non-virtuous actions with their body, speech, and mind. They do not wish to benefit one another, and constantly try to harm one another. They summon a forest deity, tree deity, or mountain deity, or they summon the various spirits in the charnel grounds. They kill beings who have taken birth as animals, and offer them to the yakṣas and rākṣasas who eat flesh and blood. They utter the name of their enemy, or create an effigy, cast a violent spell at them, and enlist a kakoda or vetala to create obstacles in their life with the hope that they will destroy their enemy's body. However, no one can create obstacles for those who have heard the name of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha. Such people are loving to one another, beneficent, free from ill will, and satisfied with their own possessions. Moreover, Manjushri, among the fourfold assembly of monks, nuns, male lay practitioners, and female lay practitioners, as well as among other faithful sons or daughters of good family who observe the eightfold precepts, there are some who maintain the precepts for 1 year or 3 months. If they develop an aspiration, saying, "Due to my root of virtue, may I be reborn in the West in Sukhavati, the world where the thus-gone Amitayus resides," they will hear the name of the blessed thus-gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha. Then, at the moment of death, the 8 bodhisattvas will miraculously appear and show them the way, and they will take miraculous birth there upon brightly coloured lotuses. Some will be born in the god realms, and after they are born there, their previous roots of virtue will never be exhausted, and they will not proceed to the lower realms. After they pass away, they will become universal emperors with dominion over the 4 continents in this human realm, and they will establish many billions of beings on the path of the 10 virtuous actions. Others will be born in great kṣatriya households, born in great Brahmin households, born in great landowning households, and born in households whose treasuries and storehouses contain an abundance of riches and grain. They will have excellent physiques, be powerful, have attendants, be courageous and heroic, and have the strength of a great champion. Any woman who should hear the thus-gone one's name and bear it in mind should know that it is the last time she will be of the female gender. At that point, Manjushri Kumarabhuta told the Blessed One, "Blessed One, in the future I will proclaim the name of the blessed thus-gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha in various ways to those faithful sons and daughters of good family who hold this discourse, recite it, explain it, teach it correctly and in detail to others, copy it, commission it to be copied, write it in a book, and venerate it with flowers, incense, garlands, ointments, parasols, and victory banners. I will proclaim it, so that they will even hear that Buddha's name in their dreams. They will wrap this discourse with cloths of the 5 different colours and place it in a clean area. The 4 great kings with their retinues and billions of deities will gather wherever this discourse is located. Those who retain the name of the blessed thus-gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha and this discourse on the detailed account of his previous aspirations will not suffer untimely death. No one will be able to steal their vital energy, and if it has been stolen, they will take it back." The Blessed One replied, "It is so, Manjushri. What you say is true. Manjushri, a faithful son or daughter of good family, who makes offerings to that thus-gone one, should make a statue of that thus-gone one, and observe the fast associated with the noble eightfold precepts for 7 days and 7 nights. They should eat pure food and thoroughly wash their body. They should wear fine, clean clothes. Then, in a clean area, they should scatter the petals of various flowers and perfume the area with various fragrances. They should then decorate the place with various cloths, parasols, and banners. There they should cultivate a stainless mind, an untainted mind, a mind free from ill intent, a benevolent mind, an impartial mind, and an equanimous mind. They should then play music, play instruments, and sing songs as they circumambulate the statue of that thus-gone one. If they contemplate his previous aspirations and teach this discourse, all their wishes and aspirations will be fulfilled. If they aspire to a long life, they will have a long life. If they pray for wealth, they will have wealth. If they pray to become a powerful ruler, they will achieve that with little trouble. If they wish for a son, they will have a son. When someone has a bad dream, sees a crow or a bad omen somewhere, or dwells in a location where the 100 inauspicious things are present, if that person venerates the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha with the various types of offerings, then the bad dreams, bad omens, and inauspicious things will no longer appear. If those who face dangers from fire, dangers from water, dangers from weapons, dangers from poison, dangers from steep cliffs, dangers from raging elephants, dangers from lions, dangers from tigers, dangers from bears, hyenas, and poisonous snakes, and dangers from snakes, scorpions, and centipedes, have made offerings to that thus-gone one, they will be freed from all manner of dangers. Those who face dangers from enemy armies, dangers from thieves, and dangers from bandits should also make offerings to that thus-gone one. Moreover, Manjushri, if any faithful sons or daughters of good family, who maintain taking refuge in the 3 jewels for as long as they live, and have no other tutelary deity, maintain the 5 precepts, maintain the 10 precepts, maintain the 400 vows and precepts of a bodhisattva, are monks who have left home and maintain the 250 precepts, or are nuns who maintain the 500 precepts, should break any one of the precepts among the vows and precepts they have taken, and fear they are in danger of falling into the lower realms, if they then make an offering to the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha, they should know that they will not suffer rebirth in the 3 lower realms. If any woman giving birth who experiences intense, fierce, and unbearable suffering makes offerings to the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha, she will immediately be liberated from that suffering. The child will be born with all its limbs intact, and it will have a good physique, be handsome and good-looking, have sharp faculties, be intelligent and healthy, and have few difficulties. Non-human beings will not be able to steal its vital energy. At that point, the Blessed One asked Venerable Ananda, "Ananda, do you trust and believe in the good qualities of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja that I have described? Are you uncertain, or do you have any reservations or doubts about this profound Buddha domain?" "Respected Blessed One," Venerable Ananda replied, "I am not uncertain, nor do I have any reservations or doubts about the qualities that the Thus-Gone One has described, because the Thus-Gone Ones have no impure conduct of body, speech, and mind. Blessed One, even such miraculous and powerful beings as the sun and the moon might fall to the earth, and even Sumeru, the king of mountains, might move from its base, but the world of the Buddhas is never incorrect. Yet still, respected Blessed One, there are beings who lack the capacity for faith, and when they hear about this Buddha domain of the Buddhas, they will wonder, how can such good qualities and benefits come about by merely recollecting the name of that Thus-Gone One? Because they have no faith, do not believe and reject this, for a long time they will suffer injuries, lack medicines, be unhappy, and fall into the lower realms. The Blessed One replied, Ananda, it is untenable and impossible for someone who has had the name of that Thus-Gone One resound in their ears to be reborn in the lower realms. Ananda, the domain of the Buddhas is difficult to believe. Ananda, the faith and belief you have, should be seen as the power of the Thus-Gone One. This is something possessed only by bodhisattva great beings who are one birth away from awakening, not by hearers and solitary Buddhas. Ananda, attaining a human life is rare, and faith and devotion toward the three jewels is rare. But hearing the name of that Thus-Gone One is even more rare. Ananda, the bodhisattva conduct of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha is immeasurable. His skillful means is immeasurable, and the detailed account of his aspirations is immeasurable. If I wanted to explain that Thus-Gone One's bodhisattva conduct accurately and extensively for an eon, or the remainder of an eon, the eon would come to an end before I could complete that detailed account of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja's previous aspirations. At that point, from among the gathering, a bodhisattva great being named Tranamukta rose from his seat, adjusted his upper robe on one shoulder, knelt with his right knee on the ground, bowed to the Blessed One with his palms together, and said to the Blessed One, Respected Blessed One, in the future there will be beings whose bodies are tormented by various types of illnesses. Their limbs will atrophy due to chronic illness, and their lips and throats will be parched from hunger and thirst. They will be heading for their demise, surrounded by weeping friends, acquaintances, and relatives. They will see darkness in all directions and be led by Yama's servants. While such a person's body is still lying there, the consciousness will be brought before the Dharma King Yama. The God who was born with that person and who has recorded all of that person's virtuous and non-virtuous actions in writing will then present them to the Dharma King Yama. The Dharma King Yama will then question and interrogate the person and issue his judgment based on how many of their actions were virtuous and how many were non-virtuous. If the friends, acquaintances, and relatives of those who are ill take refuge in the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja and perform the offering in this way to benefit them, their consciousness will turn back and make its way, just as if they had been dreaming, to the place where they had been. For some, the consciousness will return on the 7th day, for some on the 21st, 35th, or 49th day, and they will remember what happened to them. The ripening of virtuous and non-virtuous actions will now be clear to them, and they will no longer commit unwholesome actions, even at the expense of their life. Therefore, faithful sons or daughters of good family should make offerings to that Thus-Gone One. Venerable Ananda then asked the Bodhisattva Tranamukta, Son of good family, how should one perform such an offering to the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja? The Bodhisattva Tranamukta replied, Venerable Ananda, those who want to free someone from a grave illness should observe the 8-fold purification vows for 7 days and 7 nights to benefit the sick person. They should make as many offerings as possible to the monastic sangha of food, drink, and provisions, and offer service. They should focus on the name of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja 3 times each day and 3 times each night. They should recite this discourse 49 times, offer oil lamps for 49 days, and make 7 statues. They should place 7 oil lamps in front of each statue, and each of the oil lamps should be as large as a chariot wheel, to ensure that the oil lamps will not go out during the 49 days. They should make more than 49 5-colored flags. Respected Ananda, if anointed kṣatriya kings face a threat of injury, disaster, and conflict that is related to an illness, their own, or an enemy army, a lunar asterism, a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse, unseasonable winds and rains, or drought, then those anointed kṣatriya kings should be benevolent toward all beings. If they release their prisoners and perform the aforementioned offering to the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja, the roots of virtue of those anointed kṣatriya kings, and this detailed account of the previous aspiration prayers of the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja will ensure that the country will be happy, crops will be good, the winds and rains will come on time, and there will be a successful harvest. All the beings who live in that country will be healthy and happy, and will abound in supreme joy. The wicked yakṣas, rākṣasas, bhūtas, and piśācas in that country will not harm beings. No evil omens will appear, and the lifespans, complexions, energy, health, and power of those anointed kṣatriya kings will increase. Then Venerable Ananda asked the Bodhisattva Tranamukta, son of good family, how is it that someone's lifespan may be restored after it has been exhausted? Respected Ananda, the Bodhisattva Tranamukta replied, have you not heard from the Thus-Gone One that premature death may be of 9 types? It is for this reason that he has taught the use of mantras and medicines. There are beings who contract an illness, and even though that illness is not very severe, they either lack both medicine and nurses, or the doctors administer the wrong medicine. This is the first type of untimely death. The second type of untimely death is when someone is executed as a king's punishment. The third type of untimely death is when someone is extremely careless, for non-human beings steal the vital energy from those who live carelessly. The fourth type of untimely death is when someone is burned by fire and dies. The fifth type of untimely death is when someone dies by drowning. The sixth type of untimely death is when someone dies upon encountering a ferocious predator, such as a lion, tiger, jackal, or snake. The seventh type of untimely death is when someone falls off a mountainside into an abyss. The eighth type of untimely death is when someone is killed by poison, a kakoda, or a vetala. The ninth type of untimely death is when someone cannot find food and drink and dies of starvation and thirst. This is a brief account of the major types of untimely death that the Thus-Gone One has taught, but there are an innumerable and incalculable number of other kinds of untimely death. There were 12 great yaksha generals gathered in that assembly, the great yaksha general Kimbira, the great yaksha general Vajra, the great yaksha general Makila, the great yaksha general Antila, the great yaksha general Anila, the great yaksha general Santila, the great Yaksha General Indala, the great Yaksha General Payila, the great Yaksha General Mahala, the great Yaksha General Chidala, the great Yaksha General Charundula, and the great Yaksha General Vikala. Each great Yaksha General had 700,000 Yaksha attendants, and they all told the Blessed One with a single voice, "Blessed One, due to the Buddha's power, we have heard the name of the blessed Thus-Gone One, Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja, and we will no longer have any fear of proceeding to the lower realms. All of us together, for as long as we live, take refuge in the Buddha, we take refuge in the Dharma, and we take refuge in the Sangha. We will diligently work for the benefit, aid, and happiness of all beings. In particular, we will protect any being who practices this sutra in villages, towns, provinces, and forests, and who remembers the name of the blessed Thus-Gone One, Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja, makes offerings to him, and serves him. They will be under our protection. They will be under our care. They will be free from all manner of misfortunes, and we will fulfill their every wish." Very good, the Blessed One said in response to the great Yaksha generals. "It is excellent that you, great Yaksha generals, are so grateful toward the blessed Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabharāja, and that you are so committed to recollecting him and working for the benefit of all beings." Then Venerable Ananda rose from his seat, adjusted his upper robe on one shoulder, knelt with his right knee on the ground, bowed to the Blessed One with his palms together, and asked, "Blessed One, what is the name of this Dharma discourse? How should it be remembered?" The Blessed One replied, "Ananda, this Dharma discourse should be remembered as the detailed account of the previous aspirations of the Thus-Gone Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha. It should also be remembered as the Bodhisattva Vajrapani's vow. It should also be remembered as purifying all karmic obscurations and fulfilling all hopes. And it should also be remembered as the vows of the great 12 Yaksha generals." When the Blessed One had spoken, Manjushri Kumarabhuta, the Bodhisattvas, the Lord of Secrets Vajrapani, the entire retinue, and the whole world with its gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoiced and praised what the Blessed One had said. This concludes the Great Vehicle Sutra, the detailed account of the blessed Bhaiṣajyaguruvaiḍūryaprabha.